Hello everyone, my guest today, she's the Indian star of science in the United States, Chanda Zaveri. From a runaway bride in India to a millionaire entrepreneur here in the United States. What's your story?
It's a long story. When I was 8 years old, I wanted to be a Nobel Prize winner. One day, one girl gave me a book called Gitanjali, and I started reading as a poetry. And the person who wrote this book, he got a Nobel Prize in literature. I went to my mother and I said, I really don't want to get married. I don't want all this thing. Just give me education. I want to study. She said, no, you know, first of all, women don't get Nobel Prize, only man gets it. So I knew my destiny and I knew that time what I'm going to do. I had a lot of talk with my mother and she was always adamant you should get married. So they arranged the wedding, and 6 days before I decided this is death for me. I have to work for people. I wanted to do something for the world which can be helpful for them, for humankind. So 5,000 guests were invited and I ran away. I went to railway station, stayed 2 days in railway station, and I asked my friend if he can give me a sponsor letter. So this American friend, he sent me a sponsor letter. I went to American consulate and they said, so how old are you? I said, I'm 23. And he said, you don't look like it, and I'm not going to give you visa because I know you're not going to come back. I was very angry and I told consulate, I said, do you think your country is heaven? So people go there and they don't want to come back. I don't need to be in heaven. I can be in hell and I can be fine. He laughed and he says, I gave you 5 years multiple entry visa and I know you're not coming back and you're going to be very successful. So here you are. So I got this visa and 5,000 people invited. It was a big wedding. And I ran away. I came without penny to Boston to my friend's house. And since there, I started my journey. I still remember I want to do something for humankind, for this universe. And that was the reason I ran away. And God was very kind to me. Life was smooth. I went to school, studied, started a cosmetic company, and here I am.
What inspires you to do all these philanthropic works in your life?
Well, in 2012, there was an article written by Telegraph newspaper, and I got near about 25,000 letters from all over the world, and especially from women. And they were saying, I wish I could have done that, what you did. But one phone call came to me, and the girl was talking about her friend. She said, when my girlfriend mom had a client, she would go and under the bed she would be sleeping on a rainy days. In a hot sun, she would be outside until the client would be in the house. One day, mother died, and her uncle sold her to a doctor. They raped her repeatedly. She ran away, and she got in the hand of traffickers. And I asked her, do you know this girl? She said, this is me. I was just shocked. And I always believe women are very powerful and they can be empowered and they can be self-sufficient. So with all my friends here, we were managed to bring her here. She is studying right now, MBA course. She was my teacher to teach me how to help other women. I went to St. Xavier College and I asked father, I said, I want to send 10 girls for you. If they can come and study freely, I can raise some fund for your college. But these girls needs to have education, because education is the only thing can change their life. And since that day, I still think about here trafficking, because this is a modern age slavery, and no woman or no girl should go through. So my heart is there to help them, no matter what happens, whatever money I would make or I want to spend for stop this human trafficking.
What role does science play in your life?
I think science is not just science, it's love of my life. I get peace. I just want to live for science. Everybody in their life, they have some person to love or some profession to love. Science is not a profession for me. Science is my life, and I love it. If I have to take again some birth, I want to be a scientist. So I'm very happy. Science is a tool for me to give to new generation something, to invent something, share, take away other people's pain. And that's the way I think science is for me. Science is my life.
Tell us more about patents that you own.
So all the patents which I made, they have a long stories about it. One of the, for example, when I came to America, I had to work as a nurse aide. And one day I went to a woman's house. Her whole body was filled with the bed sores and wounds, and they were oozing out, and she cannot wear any clothes. They put the sheet on it. And I asked the other nurse, why can't we put some medicine on her? She said, this kind of wound doesn't go away, and there's no cure about it. I promised myself, I said, if you want to give me something, give me some strength so I can do something for this wound. It took me 20 years to get the patent for wound. This is diabetic ulcer wound, or any kind of gunshot or acute or chronic wound. It can heal 100%. I have to give it to some company so I can get some royalty. But this is one of the reasons I made this, to see the suffering. And after 20 years, I was successful to find the cure for diabetic ulcer wound, acute wound, or chronic wound. So this is one of the examples. I have a patent for acne. So I was working with the young girls, the youth, and I saw one girl had in her face there's a lot of pimples, and she wouldn't say one word. She would be quiet. So one day I went to her and I said, why you are so quiet, Diane? She said, do you know, my face looks so ugly and I'm depressed. I don't want to live because no guys want to date me. That time, it's like a light bulb came in my head, and I said, if our youth would be suffering like that, they cannot be a good citizen. They would not be happy. I have to find something. After 5 or 6 years research, I found this acne dots, and you put it overnight, next day acne goes away. So all this creation came from needs, from people's need. When I hear from them, when people tells me, oh, I am suffering for that, my heart goes and my brain says, go and find the cure for it. So all my 6 patents are like that. I did something to help people, and in the process I found the research was successful, and found the cure for that.
What was your feelings when you returned home after being successful?
It was a mixed feeling. When I went home and the articles came out, the different society, different people, different magazines wanted to interview me. And as a human, I'm also human, I felt good about it. But when I went to sleep at night, I thought, this is so bad. You know, people like my success. It has nothing to do with me. My heart was crying. I felt like they're all this, talking about me, the magazine, newspaper talking about me. They're not talking about me. They are talking about the success which I gathered. And I personally think we should give gratitude to people, not the subject, not the success. This is my feeling. We always give points to success, but we forget the person who got successful also has a heart inside.
What are the products that you invented and how was it different?
So, the products which I have invented, it was the need for the people. I'm not a person who wants to push product so I can sell it and become big. That's not my criteria and that's not my wants. I look at people, and when I see that there's suffering for something, then I go in the lab and I start thinking how to resolve this problem. So if you really look at all the products, each one has a story. I'll give you one story about it. I went to Indonesia, and there was in 90s there was a big the military of Indonesia have raped Chinese girls, the group rape, and some psychiatrists and we went together to console them. And I was talking to this girl and was asking what happened. She told me about her story. And then they were putting some kind of oils and has a pillow so they won't get this scar tissue because they were pregnant. So I asked them what this oil is. She said, oh, this is the oil doesn't do any scarring on the skin. I bought this one bottle and I came back and I started doing the testing and I realized this has the highest collagenase activity. Means it takes away the wrinkles or the stretch marks. Then I did some peptide, mix it with that and did a lot of research. So you saw I was not interested to do the stretch mark, but it came out from the need. When I listen to people and they tells me their story or they want me to do something, then my brain thinks and says, okay, here's the plant. If we can use this Eastern philosophy and bring some Western science together, maybe we can come up with a good result. And that was the one example. We have a stretch mark which is 99% natural, plus it has a peptide which I have made it. So that peptide is not available on the market. We make this peptide ourselves, and that is so exclusive. The way we make the product is only functional product. It has nothing to do with the look good, feel good, or we need to sell because the market wants it. When I make a product, I always have a one thing in my mind: how I can help the person, how the people are going to use, what they're going to get the benefit of. And that's the way we are very different. We have a functional cosmetic, not just a cosmetic, because if you really look at, skin is the biggest organ of the body and all immune system lies there. And if we neglect the skin care, then we are neglecting whole body. And that's what I want to teach, how simple it is to take care of your skin. And you can, if you can take care of your skin, you can live longer, because aging is the process. There's a natural aging and there is a environmental aging, and which you can stop it if you are educated to. So our mission is to give people different product which works for them, is a functional cosmetic, and if we say we do, that means the product works for it. I don't look at what other people have. I never look at if Revlon or other companies, Murad, what they are making it. I do not want to go on a copycat. I want to look at the problem, what skin needs it, and that's what we provide.
Besides science, what are your area of interest?
When I'm in the lab, I'm very happy. But when I was young girl, there was a lot of family disputes or family things, and especially the community I came from, the girls are always hidden back. Man has the more power. So I developed to paint, and I love to paint. I can do the acrylic paint, oil painting, water painting. And if I would not be a scientist, I can be a painter very easily. The other thing I learned, because my mother used to say, oh, dancing is a bad thing. So as soon as I came here, I started learning the Argentina tango. And I used to compete on a nationwide. So that was one of the things. And third is I love to swim. This is all three things. I love to cook. I love people come home and I can make the food for them. So these are my hobbies besides science. I think cooking is also a science, because you're inventing different things all the time.
Exactly.
Another thing is with the cooking, eating in a restaurant or eating at home, there's a big difference, because when you cook, you put love in the food. When you go in a restaurant, there's no love, it's just a cook. It's a big difference there.
How did you come up with the name Pink of Beverly Hills, which is very appealing?
I didn't come up with this name. SQH. He lives in London, and he asked me, before I retire, can I do something, can I give to world, because that's my desire too. He knew that. So he said, okay, I'm gonna make some skincare product, would be unique, would be different from everybody, and you start thinking about to make this product. And I said, okay. So he came up with this name, Pink Beverly Hills, and it's a fantastic name. And the packaging is so eye-catching also. It's just royal. So that's his gift to me. That's his baby.
Tell us more about your collaboration with SQH.
SQH is a very, very busy guy. He's a billionaire, self-made billionaire. I told him one day I want to do something for the world. And he came up with this idea about the Pink Beverly Hills. He's so busy, it's hard to see him ever. But whatever moment I get from him, he decided to do the Pink Beverly Hills. It was a brilliant idea. And he's involved in so many things. It's a wonderful gift he gave me to think about Pink Beverly Hills. I don't think anybody came up with this idea, which is so elegant and so beautiful, cosmetic. He's himself a royal, so he brought this Pink Beverly Hills, so royal product. And it's just not the packaging, it's when you're holding these bottles, it's look like a piece of jewelry. And this is what SQH is. Very royal, very sincere, self-made billionaire.
Very classy.
Very classy.
What motivated you to join the cosmetic industry?
In 90s, I had a leukemia, and my skin was very patchy and very hard to somebody to appreciate that. And being a girl, and I didn't want to go out, so I started thinking about what I can do. And that time I came up with a peptide, and I made this peptide which takes all the dark circles around hyperpigmentation from my skin. So I used it, and then I started giving to all the neighbors, and they love my product. So they said, when if you get better, you are going to get better. As soon as you get better, you should start the skincare product. And I wanted to do the sequencing of the gene and a protein, but then I realized skincare has a lot of money. I can make the product for good product for people, and the profit I can do my research, and that's the way I got involved in the skincare.
What's your message to our viewers?
My message is very simple. Skin is the biggest organ of the body. You should take care of that because all immune system lies under the skin, and skin is very smart organ. If you take care of the skin would take care of you, your body. In the end, it stop the aging or reverse the aging if the right product you get it. If you educate yourself about the skin, you would not have to worry about the aging. You would enjoy your youth, and that would give you empowerment because everybody needs the empowerment in their life.
Chanda, thank you very much for your time, and I wish you all the best and good luck in your career.
I want to thank you to come here and interview me. It's so kind of you, and you have such a personal touch. I was feeling very easy to be with you, and love to have dinner or something. But thank you so much to coming and interviewing me.
My pleasure, and thank you very much for the wonderful Indian food. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.